Tyler Ramos. Tyler Ramos. Tyler Ramos. Tyler Ramos. Tyler Ramos. Tyler Ramos. Tyler Ramos.
Here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, hey. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after ATB. Shout out to my boy DZ. What is going on, CandleMafia? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you, and I'm not just saying that. I actually mean it. But what is going on, guys? Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We got an awesome show for you. We're taking a look at Bitcoin. We're going to be taking a look at some of those altcoins. Now, is this going to be a dump, guys? Obviously, we are getting a little bit of a rejection, and there are some things popping up on the chart. As you guys know, there were some things we were looking at not too long ago, last week, that were indicating somewhat of a move to the downside. Now, as of right now, guys, I wouldn't really consider this like a breakdown or a dump. As of right now, we're basically still sitting at the lows of our local range, which isn't that crazy, right? We have broken past that value area low, and it does look like we are or could potentially be seeing some bearish consolidation. However, it's a little too soon to call if this is going to be a big dump. But as you guys know, we were looking at some of those bearish signals on the medium hourly time frames as well as the daily that were pointing to a potential pullback before another move to the upside. So before we get into it, guys, I do just want to point out that I am not long-term bearish just yet. This is just like Bitcoin moves a little bit and everybody kind of freaks out. But I am not long-term bearish. I am still long-term bullish, guys. The higher time frames do still look really good. Money flow is really looking good. That 6-day money flow that we were looking at that looked really bearish didn't really come up and turn as bullish as I would have liked. But all in all, the higher time frames do still technically call for more upside. Obviously, we are still in an uptrend here, so that is another thing kind of pointing to more potential upside, as well as the weekly money flow is another one of those things, one of those mega, I wouldn't say mega bullish, but, if we get that crossover into the green on the weekly money flow, it's going to be a very, very, very likely case that the bottom is in for Bitcoin. But we are getting some new few potentially bearish signals on the chart that I want to go over with you guys today. And then I want to cover some levels to the downside that we have to keep an eye on in case we do get this move down. And then obviously we will look to see if there is a case to just smash right back up into these highs that we've created over the past week or so, and see if we can get above that resistance to get into some much more bullish price action for Bitcoin, getting us up to that 29. Well, I guess we're kind of sitting at 29. Basically, we just got rejected from 29, but get us up to that 30 to 31.5K level. We're going to be taking a look at all those key levels, guys, and I'll let you know if I'm leaning bullish, if I'm leaning bearish, if these bearish signals we're seeing pop up on some of these higher time frames are something that we really need to be worried about, or if we can just get a move up. We're going to be talking about it all, so buckle up, baby. It's about to get wild. But before we get into it, make sure you hit that like button. And every 100 likes you guys get a spin on the wheel of pain and pleasure, where you guys will all have a chance to win some free crypto. And if you're not going to get that free crypto, maybe we'll add a little bit of merch. Guys, thank you so much for getting Joel at Hit Network Gaming up to 900 and something followers. We got him like 300 followers or 300 subscribers on Friday. So just wanted to thank you guys for that. I appreciate the CandleMafia for showing out for Hit Network Gaming. He's so close to 1,000. That's what we're trying to do for him. But thank you guys for everybody who subbed to his channel. Really greatly appreciate it. And with all that being said, guys, let's say what is up to the CandleMafia, and then let's go ahead and jump into the charts. Who do we got in here tonight? Shout out to Bison9, says, what up, Frankie? I am now part of the CandleMafia. Let's go. Shout out to Bison9. Welcome to the Mafia, bro. You're stuck with us for life now. Shout out to Javit the Barber. Let's go, bro. You took the words out of my mouth. He said, fire haircut, bro. Check it out. Hey, we got a haircut, guys. We got a haircut. Looking fresh, or I'm feeling fresh. You guys let me know if I look fresh or if I look like an idiot and I should put my hat back on. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for being our Javit. One day, I will get cut up by you, my friend. Shout out to Shirley Sound. What is going on? AZTV, as always, happy to see you. Kurt Eichler, what is going on? He says 89. Let's go. Shout out to you, bro. Lazarus Hand, what is going on? Shout out to Crypto Billy for the super chat. Oh, Jason Casper in the house. What is going on? Shout out to Jason Casper. Thank you for being here, bro. Showing support. I appreciate you, Jason Casper. Shout out to Crypto Billy for the super chat. Shout out to Jason Casper. Thank you for being here, bro. I do appreciate you, brother. My camera looked really crooked, but I guess it is a little crooked. We got a little too much space on that end of the screen. But yeah, shout out to you, bro. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate you. Bufo on the beat in the house. What is going on? Says, Frankie got on the Sinatra cut today. Should we rock no hat or should we rock the hat? I don't know. Let me know in the chat if I should take this hat off or if we should just go ahead and keep that hat on. But guys, shout out to Joe Rod. Shout out to Uncle Candles in the house. What is going on? He said, long and short, feeling good. Me too, brother. Me too. Shout out to New Re JK. I don't know if I'm reading that wrong, but shout out to you, bro. I don't know why I can never pronounce that name. Steven Atwell, what is going on, bro? Thank you for being here. Rob the Crypto Snob. Guys, don't forget to go ahead and drop some love in the chat for all our amazing mods. I do appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you for everything you guys do for the channel. So chat, go ahead and show them some love because if the mods were not here, I would be a stressed out individual. So shout out to them. And without further ado, guys, let's go ahead. Shout out to Enzo Mining. I'm my hero, Abu Test. Abu Teet, what is going on, man? Sir Quest and Devin C. Shout out to Bubba's Crypto last but not least. Shouting out our boy, Tony D. And with all that being said, guys, let's go ahead and jump right into the charts. Let's go. All right, guys, so what do we got going on here? Bitcoin's going to zero. I'm just kidding. But let's go ahead and turn off that TA and just run through our price action here just to get an idea of what the heck is going on. Send it to 42,001 $1. Shout out to Gained Weight. Let's see. Love me some candle mods. Let's go. Shout out to Wolfman 8 My Crypto. Let's go. But guys, let's go ahead and jump up to these higher time frames and take a look at what we got going on here. Now, obviously, guys, I just mentioned I am still bullish in the long term as we are in a very, very, very strong uptrend. However, on top of that, I'm going to go over the bullish case or why I am still long-term bullish, guys, and then we'll go into what we were looking at, that was a little bit bearish last week and kind of check in on those things as well as take a look at some of those newer signals that we're getting that could be pointing to some potential downside. But on our weekly here, guys, we do have, not only are we in a strong uptrend, but this weekly money flow is one of those big things that I am looking at to call for some more upside. And obviously, I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but as you guys know, we kind of go back and look at this every other time we've gotten a money flow crossover into the green on the weekly time frame. That has at least let us know that the bottom was already in for Bitcoin. And then even in 2018 here, we got that money flow crossover into the green right here. The bottom was in, and then we came back into the red and back into the green, but still never made a lower low. So that first money flow crossover into the green did mark that the bottom was already in. And now we could be seeing ourselves set up for something very similar where we get that money flow crossover, and that bottom may have come in back here in November. So I will say, once that money flow does cross over into the green, guys, I will say, although if shout out to Creighton C, says if Frankie spills a Red Bull, I know what's coming. Shout out to you, bro. But yeah, he's still wearing the hat. Did you guys tell me to take it off? Bearish on hats. All right, guys, we're rocking the hat. We're rocking the natural hat, guys. The original hat, also known as hair. But just taking a look here, that this money flow crossover, if that does cross over, guys, I am in the camp that I do think it is more likely that the bottom is already in for this bear market. However, if we can get that money flow crossover into the green on the weekly, that would kind of really make me double down on that sentiment, as well as, if we are able to hold support and get another leg up, guys, if we get one more leg up and we continue to hold support on some of these key levels, is looking more and more as time goes on that the bottom is in for Bitcoin. But obviously, black swans can happen. There are unpredictable things in the market. But as of right now, if everything remains semi-normal, I do think it is more likely that the bottom is in, and I am still remaining long-term bullish. One thing to kind of keep an eye on here, guys, is that VWAP on the weekly starting to roll back over. Now, this is not like some kind of crazy bearish sign. This would just indicate some potential more movement to the downside, or a little bit of a cool-off, right? Because we essentially, if you go ahead and grab our, let me go ahead and pull up this. Let me pull up this empty chart real quick, clear it off. So we come back to the weekly here. You guys can see, obviously, we have gotten a pretty big move off of the bottom. We're up about almost 90% all the way from the bottom here in November, or the current bottom. So, we have gotten a big move up, and obviously we have gotten little pullbacks in, in between these moves. So this is kind of what we've been looking for, is a little bit of another pullback before another leg up. And this weekly VWAP could be pointing to that. However, it is a little too soon to tell here. It is definitely possible for the VWAP to get some support on the zero line and come back up. I don't think it'll come up that high, but you might get a little bit of support on that zero line. The VWAP could come up, but in general, that VWAP is starting to cool off, so that would point towards a cool off. However, that money flow does still look saucy. Moving on to our 6-day. That 6-day, this was kind of the one daily time frame that had bearish money flow, and was hoping that it would clear up a little bit better than it did, as we did print another 6-day candle. But we're kind of just still in the same predicament. It's not coming straight out, which is a good sign, but it's also not really curving up very nicely. So it's kind of, I would remain a little bit neutral on that money flow. But coming down to your 5-day, money flow is still in the green here. But again, looking at that VWAP for a potential cool off period. Again, not calling for a super bearish dump or anything like that. And the reason that I'm not calling for that super bearish dump is because money flow is crossing over into the green, and on such a high time frame like the 5-day, that is a very bullish sign. And again, one of those things making me lean towards a more bullish sentiment in the long term, right? But that VWAP could, again, a little too early to tell, but these VWAPs cooling off on the higher daily time frames, guys. We have a whole another 4 days and 3 hours to print another 5-day candle, and we're not going to get much more information on this VWAP until we wind up getting that next candle print. So again, a little too soon to expect this red dot or this VWAP cooling off to give us a move down, but it is something we have to keep in mind. But as long as that money flow remains in the green, I am going to keep my bullish sentiment. 4-day, kind of the same scenario here. VWAP is cooling off. It is a little closer than the 5-day. Money flow is in the green, so until I see that money flow really starting to bleed out on these higher time frames, again, keeping that long-term bullish sentiment. But again, VWAP pointing to a potential cool off coming up here soon, right? And then the 3-day, very, very similar, looking for that red dot. But money flow consistently making higher highs. You have a high there, higher high there, higher high there, trending to the upside. That is a bullish sign, guys. What happened? Let me go back. Yeah, so that is a bullish sign on the 3-day. The fact that your money flow is steadily stair-stepping its way up. The one thing, those are the bullish things, right, guys? Although those VWAPs are cooling off, the money flow is still pointing to the upside. And as you guys know, you want to look at that money flow as a kind of a gauge to look at, try to identify where the longer term trend is going. And on the higher time frames, it would be pointing to the upside. Now, something to realize there, actually, before I bring that up, shout out to Dave Digital, says, Frankie, what do you smell like? Smell like coconut mahogany. Shout out to the salted coconut mahogany candle, which we actually should get lit here, guys, so I don't get shunned by the candle gods here. So let's just go ahead and light our ritualistic candle for the stream. There it is. It's lit, guys. It's lit. Don't tell the candle gods I forgot about it. But jumping right back in here, that VWAP will be pointing to some downside. Shout out to Dave Digital. You'll have to meet me, bro, and I'll let you get one sniff in. That's it, though. Any more than that's a little creepy. I'll let you get one. But no, I don't want any. I just want just one sniff, not two sniffs. Anyway, VWAP is cooling off here, pointing to some potential short-term downside. However, guys, the 2-day is where we start to see some potential warning signs. Now, this is kind of what I am referring to when I say bearish signals. And obviously, guys, we did have that daily bearish divergence. Now, again, we're not getting like the biggest dump down right now, right? We're cooling off slightly, but, it's not some kind of crazy dump. But I do just want to point out here, it's a little better to see, easier to see here on regular candles. But if you go ahead and look, you obviously have your higher highs on your price action with your lower highs on your momentum waves. And you guys will know that this is something that we were looking at last week, that bearish divergence on the daily time frame, to kind of give us that signal that we may not be ready to, we weren't ready to just bust through that level here at about 29K, at the end of last week, right? Because we had that confirmed bear div, which was giving us a little bit more of a short-term bearish sentiment, and you can see money flow continuing to come out on the daily time frame with a rejection on the VWAP at that zero line. Is again one of those things that we were looking at. Not only is it a bearish divergence, but we also had the money flow coming out as well. That's why I was kind of looking at this. And on top of that, guys, on a lot of these medium hourly time frames, we did also have money flow coming to the downside, right? Money flow coming out on our 4-hour, money flow coming out on our 3-hour, right? Consistently coming out. Your 2-hour has crossed over into the red. It is now looking like it wants to come back up. But until we get a clear crossover back into the green, there we go. There's the green dot on the 2-hour. Bada boom. But obviously now we are printed that green dot, popped up live. Money flow starting to tick back up here. But, if this is a strong green dot and we get a big pump off of this level, which I will we'll take a look at in a second, is not impossible, guys. But if we do get that, we would need that money flow to cross over into the green for me to take this as a serious signal for or for more, drastic upside. Other than that, I am being very careful of VWAP flops here. If we do come up and get above this zero line, and then get the VWAP to cross right back down to give us that immediate red dot right after the green dot. That is where I would expect this money flow wave to kind of come up and then just come down and make some lower lows to come back down into a bigger red wave. But we'll be able to see here, we will get at least some kind of an idea if this 2-hour green dot is going to give us a move up, and we'll talk a little bit about more about that in a second. But, taking a look at your 3-hour money flow was coming out. Your 2-hour is now in the red, and then your 1-hour, which was another time frame we were looking at, guys, was basically consistently coming to the downside. Now this has shaped up a little bit here. And then your 90-minute money flow was another big time frame that we were looking at. And that is still in the red as we are printing a green dot here right now. Money flow coming out on those medium time frames, guys, with that daily bearish divergence was the thing that was basically giving me the idea that, hey, not ready to push up above here now. But the question is, are we going to get a big rejection here, or are we going to get a little bit of a fake out and then get another push to the upside? Now, the one thing I will point out here, guys, is on top of this daily bear div with money flow coming out, coming on over to the 2-day, we do have a very, very similar situation happening where we have higher highs, multiple higher highs on our price action with our momentum starting to consistently march to the downside, right? So you have higher high, lower high, lower high. Is that high lower than this high is the question. It does look like it is slightly lower. So yeah, 2-day bearish divergence is starting to print here, guys. If this confirms, this could indicate some more downward price action for Bitcoin. Again, following suit off of that daily bear div. So this 2-day bearish divergence is really what I'm looking at for this is kind of the most alarming thing, right? First off, it was the daily bear div with money flow coming out, and that money flow is still a little bit alarming to me. The fact that it is coming straight out here, that is not the best sign. But that 2-day bear div is that next thing I'm looking at. If this confirms, it might kind of keep the weight on top of us and keep us from getting that breakout to the upside. But just because we're getting, again, money flow is still coming up. Technically, you're kind of flat there, but the fact that money flow is coming up, Dave Digital, you're killing me, bro. Shout out to Dave Digital. But anyway, yeah, this is again is not some like rare bearish sign. It could be if money flow is coming down aggressively as well, and we have more confluence on the lower time frames. I would be taking this as a little bit more of an aggressive bearish signal. But again, this may just present itself as some a little bit of further downside or some bearish consolidation, but definitely something you do not want to ignore. This is technically a bearish sign, just not as bearish as if you had money flow coming out as well. But the fact that we are getting that 2-day bear div, as well as the VWAPs cooling down on these higher time frames, that is kind of in confluence for a move to the downside. So keep an eye out for that. But that is now talking about some of the more recent bearish signs here, guys. We do have a confirmed blood diamond on our 16-hour that printed this morning. However, money flow is kind of coming back out here just a little bit, but that may just roll back to the upside soon. But again, confirmed blood diamond on your 16-hour is not the best look. You are also printing a blood diamond on your 12-hour. Again, not the best look at all. 10-hour blood diamond is also confirmed. I believe a lot of these are in the Heikinashi candles as well, except for the 12-hour is not there. But your 16-hour is, your 10-hour is. 6-hour bear div, 6-hour blood diamond confirmed, 8-hour blood diamond confirmed. So we are starting to get the blood diamonds confirming here, guys. Money flow coming out pretty aggressively on the 6-hour. You guys will remember last week we were talking about this money flow just looking as healthy as possible. When we were right about here, this was like as healthy as money flow could look. You're thick in the green. The money flow was coming straight up, and that was a pretty good sign. But now we have curved off and gotten a pretty aggressive curve to the downside. Just something to keep an eye on. But again, that 8-hour money flow actually doesn't look that bad, right? So those are kind of the current bear signals that are popping up. Now, we did have a confirmed blood diamond on the 4-hour as well. However, I am not taking, that one is not alarming me as much as the 12 and the 16-hour. And please understand, guys, that these blood diamonds do not always mean that we're going to get a massive meltdown, right? This one did not play out in that manner. This one wound up being absolute bloodbath. But this one was actually foreshadowing a pump. And then this one foreshadowed, this one was basically the start of a move down before we got that big move to the upside, right? So it doesn't mean that we're absolutely going to collapse here. Honestly, the 2-day bearish divergence has got me a little bit more feeling like that's probably the bigger bearish signal to watch than the blood diamonds, because those blood diamonds, again, don't always play out as aggressively as we expect them to. Yeah, it is. That is basically what I'm looking at as far as the bearish signals, right? We had it on the 4-hour and some of these lower time frames as well. But with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and check out some of these key levels that I'm going to be keeping an eye on here moving forward, right? So if we do wind up getting a move to the downside, guys, let me see, what chart do I want to look at? I did clean up my charts a bit, guys. It may not look like it, but I did. Just close some of these out. Bada boom, bada bing, and yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and unhide our TA here and take a look at what we're looking at here, guys. So basically, obviously, guys, we are hitting our head against absolute monumental resistance, right? Very, very strong level of resistance, right? Not only did this act as support on, throughout the almost entire bull market, did this level act as support. We then created this little micro range down here as well before we finally broke down into the dark, dark depths of this bear market. this level at 29K is not only, I know we talk about this all the time, but I'm going to bring it up one more time. Not only is this a very, very important level of resistance to flip to support because it acted as support all these times back here in the bull market. Got a big bounce there, got a big bounce there, big bounce there, and then we held it all throughout here before breaking down. But not only that, but if we zoom in just a little bit here, you could see that, whoa, somebody turned it into an NFT. Random lines, guys. Sorry about that. But yeah, you can see we did have this little previous area of consolidation giving us this value area low level down here at about 28.8K, which is a big reason why we're watching this level so much. Obviously we are running into this level and rejecting off of it is the other reason we're looking at it. But the reason why I am so focused on this level of resistance is because if we do wind up getting a big move up, right? If we do get a big move up, I will be looking to flip that 28.8K level to support. Once we can do that, guys, we will likely be able to open the door to get a move up to not only into this previous range that we were trading in, but up to the point of control of this range, which is coming in right here at about $30,000, right? So if we flip that 28.8K level, again, that value area low of this range, if we flip that level to support, we can wind up getting accepted back into that area of balance and then get a move up to our $30,000 level. And then again, obviously, once you get accepted into that area of balance, not only does that open the door to move up to the point of control at $30,000, but it also opens up the door to come up to your value area high, coming in at about 31,300. And then right above it, you do have a 786 fib level coming in at about 31.7. So that is another level to watch as well. So major levels to the upside, guys. Again, I would be, very, very cautious, right? Because we've seen this happen a lot of times. A lot of these bearish signals on the way up have not played. I mean, this one played out pretty well. So did this one as well. But you do want to be a little bit more careful with short positions in a big move to the upside here, right? As you have this strong uptrend, you have to understand if you are going for these shorts, you have to manage the risk very, very well. And you might not want to be, betting the farm on all these shorts because you are technically trading against the trend, right? The trend is your friend until the end. So if we are in a macro uptrend, I would be a little bit more greedy with the longs and a little bit more conservative with the shorts. Just like in the bear market, we were being a lot greedier with the shorts and a little bit more conservative with the longs, right? So in the bear market, if you're shorting with the trend, right? We know we're in a bear market. We know we're likely going to see more downside. So the probability is already in your favor if you're looking for shorts over longs in a bear market. So in the same way, I know that, we're not really in a full-blown bull market right now. I know that's kind of a subjective argument. Yeah, it is a little bit of a subjective argument whether we are in a bull market or not. I wouldn't really consider it a bull market until we, start getting closer to halving. But either way, you just want to understand that when you're in a strong bullish trend, you don't want to trade against the trend, even if you are technically still in a bear market, right? If you're in a strong local trend or a strong, macro trend, again, it's kind of a subjective thing. Some people would call just a bullish trend a bull market and then a bearish macro trend a bear market. So sometimes people see bullish market structure on the weekly. They're like, okay, this is a bull market now, right? Because we switched market structure on a higher time frame. But again, regardless of bear market, bull market, you just want to make sure you're not trading against the trend. So I am being a little bit more careful with the shorts. However, that daily bearish divergence, the money flow does look nasty. The 2-day bear div does look gross as well. So it could give us a little bit more downside. And if we do get that big move down, guys, some of the major levels I am looking at, they kind of didn't really change much, right? One of the major levels I will be looking at is going to be to come down and revisit these highs that we made back here in the middle of February at about $25,000, between about $25,350 and about $25,000 to come back down and retest this value area high. And then this is going to be a pretty key level if we do wind up making it down there. Let's just say that, the bearish case does play out and we come down there. I will be looking for some bullish confirmations at this level. I will be looking for longs. However, if I do not get those confirmations, guys, I would look for a potential breakdown of this level. I will say this. I'm not necessarily, when we're coming down here, expecting this to break, right? I'm not expecting this to break down. However, if we do get down there and we wind up breaking below it, you guys know the drill. Once you can cannot get above that value area high, and you start closing higher time frame candles below this, 4-hour candles, 10-hour candles, higher time frame candles, once you start getting broken below this and cannot get back above it, it is going to be much more likely that you come down and revisit your point of control, coming in at $23,000. Not only is this the point of control of this previous, or this is a current range, guys. I'm saying previous, but this is, still being pulled to the current price action, but we are just out of this value area. But if we break down below back into this value area, I am expecting to get sucked back to that 23K level. Not only is it the point of control, but it is also a local golden pocket. So that is going to be a level to look at. However, I would let you guys know that you guys you guys know how the volume profiles work. We look at it all the time, but as soon as we break below the value area high of a range and we get accepted back into the area of balance, you guys know it is technically more likely that you will wind up coming back down towards your value area low, which is essentially just the lows of your range. So I am, I was saying this before, I'm going to be very careful entering longs at this level because, again, once we break below this value area high, I'm not ready to lose my long-term bullish sentiment, but I am going to expect more downside once we can't get back above this value area high. So, once we break below here, I am technically expecting it to be somewhat more likely to come down to our value area low. So if I'm not getting some, seriously solid confirmations at that $23,000 level, I may sit out on the long and wait to come either down to this 786 fib level at about $21,600 or the value area low, which is coming in at about $20,800. So there you go. Most important level I am looking at is definitely going to be that first level at about between 25.3 and 25K. If we break below that level and cannot get back above, I would be lightly looking at that POC for a trade. But again, you guys know I do not like getting into trades in the middle of a range, and that is basically what I would be doing, getting into a trade here. I will make exceptions at the middle. It's not like I never take trades in the middle of a range. I would just rather be at a high or a low of a volume profile. However, if we get down there and the setups present themselves, I will take the trade, but just going to be a little bit more careful because we are in the middle of the range, and I know once you get below that value area high, you are more likely to come down to the low. But those are basically the two major levels I am looking at. If we do get a big move down, those are the two major levels I will be looking for big trades, right? Or longer term trades, I guess you can call them. And then obviously we do have some of these levels here. Another reason why I would kind of look at this and maybe kind of forego my I don't like to trade in the middle of a range is because, guys, this is the local golden pocket, or I should just say the golden pocket of this entire move up, right? So if we do get down there, that would be a nice level to get a bounce from, but I would much rather get a bounce off of this value area high. Just come back down, right? We got this massive rip up. Let's come back down, test this level as support, and then continue up to some higher prices. I don't know what's going on in chat, but shout out to Dave Digital. People are saying you're on a roll, bro. Shout out to you. But let's go ahead and continue on here, guys. Shout out to Paper Planes in the chat. Let's go, bro. Shout out to you, man. But those are the two major levels I am looking at to the downside. Obviously, we do have some more local levels. If you pull some more local fib levels, you do have a local golden pocket coming in here at about $26,215. There are some more intermediate levels, but again, if we do get a big breakdown here, that major level is 25.3 to 25K. So now let's talk about some more local levels, guys. So let's just go ahead and zoom in here. I'm actually going to experiment with this range. Let's pull this back to here real quick. I just want to see where that value area low. No. All right. So we'll pull it back over to here. This is the range we've been looking at. So here we are, guys, right? On a local level, what is going on here, right? We are kind of getting we've gotten that dump down this morning, right? And we did get a pretty strong bounce. But now we are kind of just consolidating. We are currently bearishly retesting the value area low of our local range. What this does is, hey, shout out to Venom, says, like the cut. Hey, I like your cut, G. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you very much. I do appreciate you. But it looks like Blood Diamond top to me. I think 25K is in the cards. Yeah, Ren, absolutely. I do think it's in the cards. I do think it is definitely in the cards. We just have to be careful here, right? Because, again, in a bullish environment, they like to catch you off guard, right? That's like everybody's calling, right? We get the blood diamonds, and then everyone starts looking down lower, and then all of a sudden, we're just getting a rip out of nowhere, and people can get thrown off. So we just want to be careful. We want to be ready to not get caught off guard and be ready to take those trades if they present themselves. But we did get this breakdown, guys, obviously. And then we did get that bounce up. We bearishly retested that value area low, and now we are bearishly retesting that value area low once again. I'm just going to pull this little local fib real quick here. So, yeah, we do have a local golden pocket. I would rather look at this as the local golden pocket. The good thing about this volume profile, guys, is it does give us a little bit of context into what we can expect, right? I'm not going to lie, this does kind of look like some bearish consolidation, but it does look like you are kind of like breaking that pattern for the most part. But we are testing that value area low of the local range, right? So this is going to be an important level to watch because we know that if we get above this level, guys, we are likely going to, if we could break above this level, this local value area low, and we can get up here and hold this as support, it may be that our next likely stop for price will be that point of control of the range, which is coming in at about $28,070. I'm going to go ahead and relabel this as POC. And then we'll change this to value area low. There we go. And then I will just go ahead and make this value area high, right? So again, that is value area low. That is the value area high. What the heck? Okay, value area high. There we go. Okay, so again, this is going to be an important level to get above, right? Because we can get above this value area low. We are expecting to come up eventually to our POC, and then maybe even that value area high coming in at about 28,361. And then once we get up there, guys, it may open the door for a potential break above these levels. However, again, with that 2-day bear div, that 2-day bear div is just something you got to remember, right? Because that red dot is likely going to print somewhat soon. We'll have to see with this daily candle close if we can get this VWAP to start to round off. Now, this was actually something I was going to put in the Discord over the weekend. We did start to see this, I think it was it Saturday? We started, was it Saturday? Let's see, what is this? That's Sunday. So maybe it was yesterday or the day before. We were getting that VWAP to curve up on the daily, which was indicating a potential, maybe that was kind of the bearish look for the daily and we were about to turn things around. But then when I came over to the 16 and the 12 hour, it did look like we were getting those VWAP flops on the 12 and the 16 hour. So I was like, maybe we get rejected at the 0 line. So I sat out on posting about it. I was going to let it play out. But there you go. We did get rejected at that 0 line. So again, if you're ever looking, you have money, you have a VWAP coming up, something that you can do is come down to like the sister time frames, right? It was what I call them, the time frames to the right and the left of that time frame that you're looking at, and see what that time frame's doing. If you have that VWAP looking like it wants to flop over, it's likely that you're not going to get that VWAP on the higher time frame to continue in the right direction. Shout out to Creighton C, said it was Saturday. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for that. But yeah. So anyway, continuing on here, again, just looking at this as a local range, right? So if we do, again, get above that value area low, I would expect some more upside. The only thing I would look at is this golden pocket at about 27,500 and that 786 at about 27,690 for potential lower highs to continue to the downside. The one reason why I would say you could get a little bit of a sustainable pump back into this area of balance would be because if you come on, obviously we are getting that 2-hour green dot actually just disappeared. But if, we just printed that green dot on the 2-hour, that 3-hour VWAP is also curving back to the upside here, as you can see. And your 4-hour, again, a little too soon to tell here. You could easily get rejected at the 0 line on your VWAP on the 4-hour, but your VWAP is rounding off, letting you know that you could be potentially finding a local bottom. And, I wouldn't call this the strongest divergence, but you are technically, what's it look like on regular candles? Yeah, you are technically printing a bullish divergence here on the 4-hour time frame. The only thing I would caution you with here, guys, is number one, that green dot is not printing just yet. And again, the money flow is cruising to the downside on the 4-hour, right? So if we do get that bull div, I would be a little bit cautious unless this money flow starts to turn around. If this money flow continues to come out, I would expect that bullish divergence to really just bring us up for a higher low before continuing back down to the downside. But it's too soon to tell, right? We're going to need that green dot to print, and we're going to need to see if that money flow is going to correct itself or not. But if that money flow is continually coming out, even if you do get that bull div on the 4-hour, I wouldn't really expect too much from it, especially because that daily and that 2-day also look bearish, right? So, but other than that, guys, if that bull div does play out, I'm just expecting a ride back up to our value area high, which I would expect some more resistance at. But really, it's the higher time frames I'm looking at here. Unless this daily really decides to shape up overnight, I would kind of be worried about this 2-day bear div that's flashing. You guys have seen it come on and off multiple times throughout the stream. Really would like to see how this plays out because, if that daily would really need to start looking a lot better for me to think that 2-day bear div is not going to give us much. So that is basically what I'm looking at. But other than that, local levels, again, just looking at this as a local range, we get above that value area low and hold support. Maybe we get that 4-hour bull div that could easily give us a move back up to the highs of the range. And then kind of the bigger levels I am looking at, I am short from up here, guys, but if we do get a move up, even if we do get a squeeze higher, guys, I am obviously I am still in my long position. I am still in my short position. However, the one thing to notice here is if we do wind up getting another push to the upside, guys, I may look to just add to my shorts up at these higher levels, right? 30K is going to be a massive, massive, massive level to be looking for shorts. You have the psychological level of resistance, that even 30K level. You also have the point of control of that previous range that we were trading in, which from all the way back here, coming in at that level as well. So kind of what I am looking at doing potentially in that case, if we get a pump up before the higher time frames look good, right? Because again, the higher time frames are pointing to some more potential downside with the VWAPs cooling off. If we do get a pump up here in the short term, and we somehow get a push above these levels, and let's say, right, let's put on our imagination caps here, right? Let's say we get a push up to these levels, maybe up to that 30K level, but at this time, we get this move up very quickly, right? And as that's happening, we see that 2-day still shaping up in a gross manner like this with the divergence or something similar. Maybe you get a little fake out. Maybe the red dot disappears. You come up a little bit more. But then, you wind up getting that red dot maintaining that bearish divergence. Maybe red dot disappears. Momentum wave comes up like that. If you are maintaining that bearish divergence on the 2-day as we come up to these levels, I would feel pretty comfortable adding to my short positions, expecting another cool off or a correction, a decent sized correction. So that may be where I am continuing to add to my shorts. It's a little too soon to tell because we don't know what it's going to look like if we do get that move up. But again, as of right now, it does look like we could potentially, in the short term, get a little bit of a bounce, right? Again, 4-hour green dot. Once that green dot prints on the 4-hour, that's where I would expect that move up. But we'll see. Again, it doesn't really matter because you're just expecting if you can't get above this value area low, that's likely where we'll get a move down. And if we get a move above that value area low and hold it as support with higher time frame candles, that's where we can expect the move to the upside. And again, if you're just scalping these local ranges, it won't really make a big difference to you, right? Because if you're scalping these local ranges, you're likely, if a setup presents itself, you're likely going to either, if you're not already in a long position from down here, there really wasn't that much telling you to get into a short here. I was looking back at this. I did not take this trade, but really kind of the only thing pointing to the upside here, or only setup that really presented itself. We do have some levels down here. I don't have them on this chart, but we got like a 1-minute bull div. You got this little 1-minute bull div right here with money flow coming up. But not the strongest signal, obviously, from the 1 minute. But this value area low is basically going to be your next major level of resistance. So that is the level we need to get above right here at $27,235. We can flip that to support. That's where I would expect, just to basically treat this as a sideways range as we've been treating it, right? So until there's no reason to not treat this as a sideways range until you completely get a move away from it, right? So not possible to come back up to the highs of your range. But again, money flow is looking more bearish on a lot of these medium hourly time frames. So until those higher time frames look a little better, I am going to expect to either continue to consolidate or maybe get a short-term bounce before moving down a little bit more. But again, in the long term, I am expecting that move up to 30K, and that's likely going to be where the better shorts will be, is up at these higher levels. But again, I am at again, the local ranges, guys, we are short from the value area highs up here, and I am long, I believe, from down here. So again, if you're looking for longs here, you might be looking for a scalp, but if that thing decides to rip and completely, step on a lot of the technicals and get that extra move up, you can be long from the bottom of that range. So just the importance of looking at the markets in terms of sideways volume profiles. So guys, that is basically what I am looking at for Bitcoin. Again, a short-term bounce would, honestly, I would say a short-term bounce would be somewhat likely. As long as you can get above that value area high, I do think a short-term bounce could be likely here, especially with that, that money flow on the 1 hour is coming up. Your 2 hour green dot is looking to print very soon. So I do think a short-term bounce could be a very, very likely situation. But again, just looking at this local fib pull here between about 27,440 and that 786 coming in at about 27,700 for a potential lower high before moving lower down. But other than that, guys, those are the key levels I am looking at. I would have to lean, again, hey, shout out to Wolfman Ate My Coin, said smash that like button. Hey, you don't want to mess with Wolfman, guys. I'm telling you right now. But shout out to you, Wolfman. Ate my coins, ate my crypto. I appreciate you, bro. But those are the key levels I'm looking at, guys, and kind of the major things that I am looking at. That 2-day bear div is really the main thing. But again, it is printing, unprinting, popping up, disappearing. So that is the one thing that is pointing to some more potential downside. The fact that we got the 2-day bear div, the money flows coming out on your daily with the VWAP getting rejected, and the key level of resistance. That is, the one thing that's got me worried. So we'll have to see how this plays out. Also, the beauty of being long and short at the same time, because it doesn't even really matter what happens. If we get a mega dump, I've already locked in profits on my long. I am still deep in profit on my long, and I will get stopped out in profit if we come down too low. And then the short, my short, I don't believe I have, I don't have profits locked in on my short yet. Kind of just been holding this thing as we've been bing-bonging around, but if I get stopped out, it's going to be a very small loss. So I'm just kind of waiting for price to pick a direction, and if it continues going up, cool, my long's going to continue to pay out, and if that short decides to play out, then I will just cash in on my long and then eat up those gains on the way down. All right, let's go. 200th like. Bro, I got you. Shout out to Matt King. I do appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much for that like. AZTV said CZ gonna pump it in a couple of hours. Let's go. Shout out to AZTV. Potentially. We'll have to see. Again, 4-hour bull div. That bull div can play out. But let's go ahead and continue on, guys. How long have we been going for here? About an hour even. If you guys want to see your favorite altcoins, go ahead and throw them in chat. Rob the Crypto Stomp will go ahead and count up the votes and let us know who came in first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. And then we'll go take a look at those coins. And until he decides to count up those votes, while you guys are putting those in, let's go ahead and take a look at, I want to take a quick look at the DXY. We'll take a quick look at Ethereum and the SPY as well while you guys get those altcoins in. And then we will move on to your requests. High five from Brooklyn to the calf master, the sauce boss, Mikey L. Hey, Mikey, what's going on, bro? I got the Italian flop going on today. Let's go. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for being here. Let's see. G Life says, put the hat back on. You got to give us regular guys a chance. Shout out to Tyler Durden and shout out to G Life. I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, it's actually hot. It's very, very hot right now, so I'm gonna keep the hat off. I'll be honest with you, but shout out to you, bro. Let's see. Or as you guys like to say, LSLS. Let's get some LS's in the chat. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Bin smashed it. Already broke 5 phones in the last several months. Gotta chill on that smashing. Shout out to JRod420. I appreciate you for being here, bro. Thank you so much. There's those altcoins. Let's get it. But without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump into the DXY. So, guys, taking a look here at the DXY. Yeah, getting a little bit, VWAP coming up again, kind of no bullish divergence here, even though I know a lot of people like to say that bullish divergences don't exist on the DXY. But, one thing to realize here is that today, as we get that bear div on the Bitcoins, you want to realize that your VWAP is coming up on the DXY. Not untypical to see, because as that VWAP comes up, usually the VWAP comes up on the DXY, the VWAP's coming down on the Bitcoins, and But if we get that 2-day green dot, could be some more upside in the future for the DXY. We are currently printing a green dot on the DXY daily time frame with money flow coming up at the same time. That could give us a little bit of a pull down for Bitcoin. Taking a look at your 4-hour. 4-hour is kind of just below the zero line. Money flow is coming out. Not too much to take away from here. Pulling up our actual, oh no, tell me that all got deleted. That's trash, guys. That is trash. Somebody deleted my DXY chart. Unbelievable. But anyway, I would just watch that. That daily does look kind of bullish for the DXY, honestly, with that green dot and that money flow coming up. But not really too much to take away other than that. The one thing I actually would take away from here is there is no bullish divergence on the 2-day for the DXY. That could indicate that that bear div on Bitcoin may not be as strong as we expect it to be, or as you would typically expect it to be. Let's see. BG said, I was riding my bike to work last month, back up to a car. Yippee! Shout out to BG. Thank you for being here, bro. Dave Digital said, take those shoes off, Frankie. Let's see those feet. Dave Digital trying to start a Frankie Candles OnlyFans in the house. Let's go. Shout out to Dave Digital. Let's see. I hate when the DXY gets deleted. Unbelievable. Shout out to Dave Digital. Lucho in the house. I'm sorry. That is not Lucho. That is Brad Guidel. I mixed up the avatars. They look similar. Shout out to Brad Guidel. They both look like Cardano. They all look like ADA symbols. But let's go ahead and cut. Creighton says, nope. I draw the line at Frank's feet. This is not. This is not. Guys, what is that word? Somebody spell that word out phonetically for me, please. Shout out to Creighton C. I appreciate you, bro. I'm just kidding, guys. But anyway, all right, let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum. Actually, let's take a look at the SPY. Yeah, SPY 2-day, VWAP also coming down. Money flow still looking pretty healthy on this. Your 10-hour, you did get that red dot, green dot. You got the VWAP flip on your 10-hour, which is interesting. Taking a look at that 4-hour. Yeah, 4-hour money flow coming up. Ooh, interesting. Kind of hard to pull. Do we still have an SPY chart on here? We do not. Got wrecked on those. But yeah, not really too much to take away from here, guys. If I'm being completely honest with you. Taking a look at those higher time frames. Your 2-day VWAP is cooling off as we just looked at. Your 3-day green dot is printing. Yeah, let's see. What's the weekly look like? Yeah, weekly looking for the green dot. The SPY does not look too horrible. With that green dot looking to print on the weekly very, very soon. But anyway, guys, this is the crypto channel. Let's go ahead and jump into Ethereum, or Erythrium, as your grandmother might call it. Let's go ahead and take a look at this thing they call Ethereum. Okay, so here we are. Let's see. Go over to the daily time frame. And here we are, testing that key level of support. You guys will know on Friday we were looking at this value area high as our next key level of support to keep an eye on. Now, this is kind of that key level that, Bitcoin has not quite reached yet, because this level for Ethereum, guys, if we break below this level with higher time frame candles, this is kind of that 25K level for Bitcoin. This is a similar level for Ethereum. If we cannot get above this level, I would expect a move down to your POC at about $1,637. If you cannot hold that level, it would then be expected to come down to your value area low of the range, coming in at about $1,520. Now, you do have your golden pocket here coming in at about $1,555. However, again, once you reject that POC, you really are expecting it to be much more likely that you revisit the value area low of the range. So kind of, again, this is that key level. You do not want to break below this level, because this opens up the room, or opens up the door to more downside for Ethereum. And then, this is kind of speculative, but if we do get back into this range and wind up breaking down to that golden pocket / value area low, what I would look for here is a low and then a potential deviation from that value area low, a potential deviation away from that value area low to come down and tap that 786. And then at that time, it's kind of hard to tell because we'd be looking very, very far into the future if that is going to happen. But if you can get bullish confirmations, if you can get some bullish divergences on that deviation from the value area low into that 786, that may be a good place to start looking for some long positions. But really the key takeaway here on Ethereum is that you are at a key level here. If you break below this level, you are opening up some more downside for ETH. And then that first major level to look at is going to be 1638. And then eventually and potentially get that move down to about 1522. So there you go. All coin votes are in and being counted. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. I do appreciate you, bro. Thank you for doing that. And we will start taking a look at those in a second. Let's see. Okay, so continuing on here. Again, major level coming in. This blue box is our next coming in between about $1,717 and $1,694 is that major level that we do not want to get below. And then the value area high is actually coming in at almost $1,700 even, but very psychological level there. So it could act as strong support. But again, you don't want to break below it because it opens up the some room to some more downside. But money flow is in the red now on the 4-hour. You are not getting the bullish divergence on the 4-hour that you're getting on Bitcoin. Not getting it on the 5-hour. Your 6-hour might. Nope. 8-hour giving it to you? No. So there you go, right? That is taking a look at your 2-day. Bearish divergence is printing, right? That is a bearish sign, guys. This is, daily money flow coming out. VWAP is coming straight down as well. Your 16-hour, did we get the blood diamonds on ETH as well? Didn't get them on the Hycens, didn't get them on the regulars. Interesting. 12-hour blood diamond is currently printing. No 8-hour, 10-hour is confirmed. Take a look at the 4-hour. No 4-hour, but did you get it on regular candles? No. So yeah, you are starting to get some support at this level, guys. But again, with the money flow just crossing over into the red, again, local bounces here, guys. I wouldn't be surprised if we are going to get, I don't know, this looks like a bear pennant if I've ever seen one. I mean, hey, that looks like a bear pennant to me. And if we were to grab that measured move, that estimated measured move would bring you right down. Let's see. Let's zoom out a little bit. It brings you right down to that POC, guys. That bear pennant does break you right down to that POC. So if we are going to get that 4-hour VWAP rejection, that 4-hour rejection at that 0 line, as you can see right here, you may get that move down to your POC. So next major level to the downside is going to be about $1,635. Hair pennant. Shout out to Dave Digital. Bro, why are you so funny, bro? Hair pennant. That's like such a dad joke. I feel like I look like a dad with this haircut, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, this isn't like a new haircut. I always have this haircut. But yeah, that is, that bear pennant could break it down to that POC. So keep an eye out for that. However, let's see. What's that 1 hour giving you? That 1 hour VWAP is starting to curve off here, guys. Very, very interesting. Yeah, it's so hard, guys, because I want to say, like, listen, that bear div on the 2-day is ugly. And this does look like bearish consolidation. As even on Bitcoin, we bearishly test that value area low. That could give us more downside, but I don't trust the bears right now. Again, you want to be more greedy with the longs right now than the shorts because we are in an uptrend. Now, once that changes, this could be the start of the change from an uptrend to a downtrend. And if that is the case, going all in on a short might be a good idea here, but again, you can't try to front run that stuff, right? And again, with the way the weekly looks, I do expect this uptrend to continue. So it's hard for me, if we were just in the bear market and we were continually making lower lows, I'd be very comfortable being like, oh my God, guys, it's going down. Get ready. We're going to wake up to blood. But the fact that we have the higher time frames looking so good with the weekly about to cross into the green, I have a hard time calling for a lot of downside right now. That's why I'm kind of giving you guys the bull case and the bear case with the levels on both sides, because you have to understand at this point in the market, it could go either way. I would say the technicals are, on a technical level, the technicals are technically pointing to more downside before more upside, right? But, it's very, very hard to call here. But again, short-term bounces are not unlikely. But again, with the money flow generally coming out on a lot of these time frames, I would be very cautious with the, not getting that movement to the downside. And that measured move just coincidentally brings you right down to that next level that we're looking at. So very interesting here. I am going to pull a little bit more local volume here on this little local range we have. Let's see, let me pull to here. Yeah, it really depends on which range you're looking at here, guys. However, you're either sitting at the bottom of your range. If you look at the more local range here, you are really just kind of deviated pretty far away from that value area. But, other than that, I would really, the level I'd pay attention, you do not want to lose this blue box because if we lose this blue box, it's going to be very, very likely that we do wind up coming down to that point of control, again, coming in at about 1637. So there you go, guys. There's Ethereum. Again, looking very similar to Bitcoin as far as the indicators go. But let's go ahead. Is that hair gel or mousse? This is hair gel. It's hair gel. And I don't know if you spelled it wrong there, but it is not, just so you guys know, the R is silent in hair. It's hair gel. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is hair, but when you say hair gel, it's hair gel. But if you're talking about this stuff, it's just hair. But gel, it's hair gel. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, shout out to you, bro. This is gel. It's basically concrete. All right. So with all that being said, guys, let's go ahead and move on. Shout out to Donato Cabrera in the chat, guys. Don't forget, shout out to Dark Crash. Always stay hydrated, guys. We got the agua, the Aztecian cactus water, not moss water. We're just going to go ahead and chug a little bit of this water. Let's go. Oh, yeah, baby. Let's go. Shout out to Dark Crash. Always stay hydrated. Is he in here today? Guys, sorry if my voice is all jacked up. I'm like losing my voice. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here, guys. Let's go ahead and move on to our altcoins. Check out ARB. Bada boom. With Arbitrum, guys, this is very, 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 very hard to do TA on. Because there is not a lot of price action here to analyze, right? We need information to look at in order to make some kind of sense of what's going on, right? So just looking at your general price action here, we can literally look at the entire price action in its entirety. We have our value area high up there, POC in the middle, value area low at the bottom of the range. I'm going to get rid of the volume just to take a look. Here we go. Value area high, value area low, and our POC. So there, sorry guys, POC, value area low. So there you go. These are generally like the levels that I would be looking at, guys. You do have somewhat of a, this is hard. It's really just not a lot to go off of here. You printed a green dot on your 1 hour. Very, if this does give you a move up, I would be cautious of testing that value area low in a bearish manner. I'm going to go ahead and pull see? There you go. That's going to be your rejection level right here, right? And grab this, a little bing, a little bang, boom, right there. So if you do get a move up, I would look for a potential bearish retest of this level, but it's very hard for me to tell you how likely it is that you reject or how likely it is that you catch support and come back up to your value area high, right? Because there's not a lot of information to analyze here, right? So your 1 hour green dot might give you a move up. If you do get up here, I would look for a rejection. 4 hour, like there's just no information, right? Or at least for our indicators. So yeah, kind of hard to call here. But if you do get a move, here, guys, I would look, this looks like this looks like a bear pennant to me. Or a bear flag, some kind of a bear pennant, bear flag. However you want to look at this, I just call it bearish consolidation. I don't care if it's making a pennant shape or a flag shape. It just looks like bearish consolidation. Typically, price comes down, will consolidate in something like this, or as you guys know, or it will, kind of consolidate in a bullish pennant pattern, right? But either way, this is bearish consolidation and would likely break down more often than it breaks up. So yeah, that is what I would be looking at on Arbitrum. But yeah, if you do get a move up, there are some other levels you can look at. Let's go ahead and pull this. I would also look for, some rejections at this local golden pocket. And, yeah, I would just pull your fibs, right? Like, I would look at this golden pocket first. I would look for, if you do get a move up, I'd look for a rejection off that golden pocket. If you get above that golden pocket, you can kind of just scoot your fib up to the next local high, and then that is where your new golden pocket would be, expecting some resistance there. But yeah, your big level would be the value area low and golden pocket, because you do have that confluence for a potential rejection. And then more locally, I would just pull these fibs to see if you're going to get a rejection. But just in general here, guys, this does look like bearish consolidation to me. Your 15 minutes about to print another red dot. Your 30-minute VWAP is coming up somewhat. So yeah, kind of hard to call. This is hard to do TA on just because there's not a lot of information, but that's what I would look for. Hopefully that helps you out. Shout out to JRod420, says bleed alts, bleed. Yeah, guys, alts could potentially continue to bleed here. Tony D says, I wonder if we can get a plastic surgery sponsorship. They should offer your calves as an implant option. Absolutely. I actually did know a guy. I won't say his name. But I knew a guy in New York of course he's from New York. I did know a guy in New York that had calf implants, and they were very weird. They were like plastic. It was the strangest thing ever. And I was like, dang man, like you were that insecure about your legs? Like I know I got fat calves, but I don't have fat calves because I was insecure about them at one time. I just walk around a lot, I guess. Shout out to Tony D, and shout out to the guy who had calf implants in New York. Shout out to Indiana Candles. Thank you so much for that super chat, bro. He says, "What's up, Frankie? Wanted to give a shout out to the family and ask for some help. Really appreciate it. If experienced traders get a hold of me on Discord, it's either cry for help or I give up." Well, Indiana Candles, you can shoot me a Discord, shoot me a DM, bro, if you have not already. I will try to take a look. Let's see. Yeah, dude, hit me up. I will try to, if I see it, I will try to give you some help, my man. Shout out to you. Let's see. Okay, let's continue on here, guys. Let's take a look at XRP, which has been getting a little bit of a pump here. Not too shabby. When you were born, calves first, did the doctor yell twins before realizing the freak of nature he was delivering? Shout out to Julio, or as I like to call him, Julio. Shout out to you, bro. You're funny, bro. Yeah, I think he did yell twins. And then I came out and they were just like, "I'm so sorry, ma'am. It's not twins. I don't know what it is, but it's got freakishly large legs." He's going to be a runner. Shout out to you, man. Yeah, they did think we were twins at first. Just two big heads, they thought it was. Shout out to you, man. Yeah, Indiana Candles, hit me up, bro. I'll try to help you out in any way I can. All right, let's continue on. I just realized who you're talking about. Oh, yeah, shout out to Tony D. But yeah, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at XRP as it has gotten another push up here, peaking so close to 50 cents. So we're going to go ahead and pull our typical volume profile on our sideways range here, as we obviously are deviating away from that value area high. I am actually going to pull another local level right here on this little previous range that we had, which we are currently testing that point of control. But these are other levels that we can take, guys, that POC and the value area low, POC and value area high of that previous range, to see where we are likely to get some more resistance on XRP, right? So take a look at the daily. Money flow is coming up. VWAP has been above that zero line for quite some time. Looking for that crossover into the green somewhat soon. However, you are pretty overbought here. Obviously, you guys want to be careful. XRP has some other things going on other than just like typical price action, right? Like obviously you have the lawsuit. So this may not, sometimes your TA may get stepped on XRP. But your daily money flow is coming up. However, your VWAP I would expect to come down at some point in the near future, but that money flow is headed in the right direction. You could potentially print a bearish divergence here, but that is likely going to get invalidated. Money flow on the 2-day headed in the right direction. Taking a look at our 16-hour money flow straight into the green here. Yeah. Yeah, straight into the green here. That is somewhat of a bullish sign. Taking a look at your 12-hour money flow coming straight up as well. Take a look at some of these higher daily time frames. VWAPs are cooling off as our money flow is coming up. Take a look at our 8-hour VWAP is cooling off as well. Yikes. Oh, God. When Frank's mom gave birth, the doctor said, I could see the calves. Oh, God. You know the term crowning. They used to call it calving back in my day. Let's go. But, yeah. I don't know. XRP, next level I would be looking at to the upside. Next major level going to be that 49-cent level that we got rejected at last time, or just kind of front ran that level just a little bit. But it is our value area high of that previous range. So kind of what I would like to see here, if we are not going to absolutely get a huge rip up for XRP, which again, I'm not seeing like any like crazy bullish like setups that we're going to rip up right this second. But kind of what I would like to see here is some consolidation at these levels, right? Because last time we shot up to 50 cents. 50 cents. Shout out to the club. But the last time we got this shot up to 50 cents, we kind of just came down to retest that value area high and kind of just consolidated down here. I would like to come up here and consolidate within that previous range and then get that break to the upside. Pulling up our VPVR, there are some things I want to take a look at here. Take a look at the VPVR. Yeah, just zooming out here, this is the level, right? That value area high of this previous range from back here is that level that I would like to break above, coming in, again, at 50 cents. We want to crack that 50-cent level. If we crack that 50-cent level, that is going to bring us into this, not a huge volume gap, but we do have a massive fall off in volume up to about 60 cents, where we have some other areas of consolidation. So that 60-cent level would be a level I would be keeping an eye on. 56 cents is likely going to give you some fight as well. But then that 60-cent even level is going to be another level you can look at to the upside. And again, once we break that 50-cent level, you can see here that we will break into that lower volume area. Grab that brush, a little bing bong, a little bing right up into these levels here. So that would be, the next move to the upside if we do get one. That's what I would like to see, break into that low volume gap and then start to get caught up in that 56 to 60 cent level for XRP. Are we on our way to a 60 cent XRP? It could very well be, guys. Take a look at those higher time frames. VWAP is still massively above that zero line, but starting to roll back over. But again, money flow looking good, guys. Again, this is why I am longer term bullish, is because the money flow on these macro time frames are still looking good. So those are some local levels I would look at on XRP. However, locally, I would be a little bit careful of a pull to the downside. 4 hour is looking a little bit overheated here. Looks like it wants to cool down just a little bit. Taking a look at the 2 hour, you did get a little green dot printing, but it does look like it wants to flop over to the downside. And then your money flow on these lower time frames are technically coming out. So I would just look for that red dot to give you a move down. But hopefully we can hold this. Hopefully we can hold this value area low at about 45 cents, right? So that's the next new level, right? I really want to see XRP, if we do get that pullback on the 4 hour, I do want to see this thing hold up on that 45-cent level. Again, maintaining above that value area low of that previous range from back there to potentially flip that POC and then eventually see that value area high and then break out to these higher prices, right? So that is kind of what I would like to see from XRP. Shout out to the XRP Army. Let me know if you're in the XRP Army in the chat. Hit me with that XRP. Let's go. Shout out to Indiana Candles. Thank you for that $5 super chat, brother. He said the nurses fainted when they saw Frankie's calves. Shout out to Indiana Candles. I appreciate you, bro. The size of your calves, all I can think about is your poor mother. Oh, my God. Shout out to you guys. Yeah, too funny. Speaking of looking good, did anyone notice how handsome Frank is? Dave Digital. Shout out to Dave Digital. Thank you, bro. You're making me blush. Making the hair fall down here. Shout out to Dave Digital, Donato Cabrera, throwing in those XRP emojis. Let me see those XRP emojis. And yeah, shout out to Daniel McFord, says, Frankie's the bomb. Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate you so much, man. But guys, let's go ahead and continue on here. That is what I'm looking at on XRP. Let's go ahead and take a look at our next coin, which is going to be Near protocol. Let's take a look at it. Thank you for being patient with me. Let's go. Near is nuking. It's going to 0. Next altcoin is going to be Litecoin. Shout out to Tom Crown. Litecoin going to 0. All right. Next is going to be Gala. Shout out to Gala Games. I'm a big fan of Gala Games. Blood Diamond on the 4-hour going to 0. All right, guys. That's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. But anyway, I just choked on my own breath there. All right, taking a look at Near Protocol here, guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at these higher time frames. I'm going to fly through this one. Actually, not really. I think we're doing well on time here. Let's see. Yeah, we're doing plenty good on time. So, as you guys can see, we are rejecting this very, very high volume node. It is the point of control of all of your price action here. So that is not too much of a shocker. Taking a look at your weekly time frame, VWAP getting rejected at that 0 line. Money flow starting to roll up here. Not really too much to take out. Money flow bearish on the 6-day. 4-day VWAP, bearish. Rejected at the 0 line. Yeah. Money flow back in the red here on our 2-day. Taking a look at the daily. VWAP below that 0 line. Money flow coming straight out. Near Protocol looking a little bit more bearish. No bull divs happening here on your higher hourly time frames. VWAP, red dot confirmed on your 12-hour, 10-hour red dot confirmed, starting to roll back. Your money flow is kind of coming up on your 10-hour. That's like some kind of hopium. Taking a look at our 4-hour. Yeah, massively oversold on our 4-hour. I would look for that green dot to give you somewhat of a move to the upside. Let's go ahead and pull a little bit of volume on this, a little bit of wonky volume, as we like to call it here. I would look for a potential retest of this high volume node that also happens to be a local golden pocket. But actually, I would look at this one, right? If we do get that move up, if we get this move up on Near, like massively oversold on the 4-hour, right? VWAP coming up, that would indicate a potential bounce. If we get that bounce to the upside, I would look for a bearish retest of not only your golden pocket 786, right? This is your, this is your area where you're expecting that rejection, but you are also coming in to test this high volume node, right? So you got this high volume node. So not only are you coming up for that local fib retracement, but you're also getting that high volume node retest to put in a potential, if you come up to the 786, you would technically put in a lower high, but that golden pocket would definitely give you a lower high. But if you come up there, that's where I would look for the rejection because, again, these higher time frames are not looking too good. Daily looking pretty bearish. VWAP coming straight down. Yeah, that's basically what I would look for on Near. Take a look at some of these lower time frames. Taking a look at the 15-minute. You were putting in bull divs all throughout each of these lows. You had bull div. Now you're just getting another rejection. Could have marked your local bottom if that 4-hour green dot is going to give you a move. Let's go ahead and see where our, let's see. Did we hit a golden pocket, a 786? What happened here? So there you go, right? Below that golden pocket, yeah. I would say that 4-hour green dot is likely going to give you some kind of a bounce. However, I would be cautious if you start approaching. If you get back into this value area, I would look for a rejection on that local golden pocket 786 retracement. And again, again, looking at that high volume node, giving you some good amount of confluence. All right, let's continue on here. Has anyone considered DCAing into ARB for an OP type pump? We all know it will happen. Shout out to Brian Varney. I have not bought any Arbitrum yet. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on here into our and it's gone. Shout out to Indiana Candles, and it's 0. Shout out to you guys. Just coming out here. Oh my God, look at all the XRP army in here. Let's get it. Shout out to you guys. All right, dang, the XRP army's out today. Let's go. All right, continuing on here. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing, bada boom. Okay, checking out. Make you blush, Frank. Have you seen the size of Rob's got a fib of his own. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Let's go. Shout out to Dave Digital. Said, oh God, I can't even read that, Dave. Dave's feeling feisty today. Shout out to Dave. All right, let's go ahead and check out LTC, also known as Litcoin. Shout out to Tom Crown, who actually told us that he's not the actual Litecoin guy. He said that was put on him by DZ. He was put in he was made the Litecoin guy by DZ. Just kind of took it and ran with it. But hey, we love Tom Crown, and we also love altcoins. Litecoin. Why did I say altcoins? All right, let's go ahead and remove all our drawings here and take a look at what we got going on for Litecoin. Coming up to our weekly time frame. Let's see. Bada boom, you get a green dot, printing that green dot on the weekly here. 6-day, printed that green dot as well. Money flow may get saved here by that 6-day green dot. Taking a look at our 5-day money flow coming up on that 5-day. Ooh, baby, that looks good. Green dot printing on the 5-day as well with your money flow coming up. Green dot confirmed on your 4-day. 3-day looking pretty good. Money flow coming up on your 3-day as well. And then your 2-day, you did have that 2-day. Here you go, guys. Excuse me. Here you go. 2-day bear div, right? You had your 2-day bear div right here. 2-day bearish divergence. Bada boom, bada bing, right? And then a big meltdown, right? That's just the power of a 2-day bear div. We are getting one of those on Bitcoin right now. Again, not a guarantee that it plays out, but just to show you guys kind of how these play out. Although you did have money flow coming out in this scenario. 2-day money flow actually not looking great, especially with that VWAP coming down. Is this a golden pocket retrace? Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Are we going to reject that golden pocket? If we do, guys, I will be looking. I would look at this point of control for some support. Let's go pull a local fib real quick. Yeah, there you go. If we do get a big move down here for Litecoin, because we are about to print a red dot on the daily, but money flow is in the green, right? So I'm not bearish on Litecoin necessarily, but if we do correct here, I would look for a pullback into this local golden pocket coming in at about $76, $77. I would say $77 for Litecoin. So if we break down below this this golden pocket here, again, 2-day bear div, right? If this 2-day bear div wound up pulling you down, giving you a big move down with money flow coming out, sometimes that could be a macro top signal. If it is, you are likely you got the big move down off the bear div. Money flow has been coming out. Your VWAP is cooling off as you're getting that test of the golden pocket. You are currently stuck below the golden pocket and potentially bearishly consolidating right here. And that could give you another leg down. Now, because of that, if we do get that move down, I will be looking at this golden pocket / point of control right here at about, between 76, I would say about $77 for some support. If you lose that level, probably going to be a quick move down to your 786 through this little low volume gap at about 71.63. So there you go. That is what I'd be looking for on Litecoin. 4-hour in the short term, your money flow is crossing over into the red on the 4-hour, and your VWAP is kind of rolling over here to the upside. So this is looking similar to Bitcoin. So again, short-term bounce, not unlikely, but again, the money flow is pointing to more downside. So there you go. That is what I'm looking for on Litecoin. Shout out to Mauser, says, nice haircut. I see you trimmed out 9 hairs on the left and 3 on the right. Any on the back? Yeah, you're going to have to let me know. I think there was 11 hairs on the back they took off. Let me know. I think it was 11. They took off. So shout out to Mauser. I appreciate you for being here, bro. When you get your hairs cut, guys, you can't have them cut them all. They only, you only cut certain amounts of them. But we got 749 people in here, guys. Don't forget to smash that like button if you guys like altcoins. If we have time after Gala, I have a backup list with 3 more coins if you want. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob, always ready. Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate you, man. But yeah, let's take a look at Gala. Here we go. Gala, baby. Okay, here we go. Looking for, oh, baby. Okay. Pulling some wonky volume here, guys. I don't recommend pulling wonky volume like this. Be careful with your volume. Let me risk myself with the wonky volume. But what I see here, when I'm looking at the wonky volume, now this is without doing any other TA, I am seeing a bull div into your value area low. This could potentially be a spot where you're going to get a bounce up. If I was looking for a bounce up, I would look to make it up to that point of control, which is getting in perfect confluence with your 786 and this high volume node. So if we do get a bounce up, now I will say, Money flow is coming out. You are getting a bull div here. However, money flow is not, just crossing into the red. You guys can see that initial crossover into the red is what started your downtrend, right? So he could come up for a lower high before making a lower low. That would be logical to think. If you do get that bull div, if the money flow remains bearish, that would be a likely situation. But, this isn't as bearish as it looks on Bitcoin because, that initial money flow already happened. That crossover already happened, creating that downtrend. So you may be kind of finding a low here with your money flow, and that bull div may be marking the bottom before coming up. And you have also come down to tap your value area low. So I would look for this green dot on the 4-hour to give you a move up, and then I would look for a push into your golden pocket or potentially a push into your 786 before coming lower. And then moving on down to some of these lower time frames, your 2-hour did not. No bull. I mean, yeah, you do. You barely have a bull div here on your 2-hour. That 4-hour bull div is much stronger looking to me. Your 1-hour green dot is confirmed, but yeah, this guy's. I will say it's not impossible to get a push up on these 4-hour green dots, but something to keep in mind here, guys. I hate to be the bear. But this does look like some potential bearish consolidation, right? This could break to the downside. So just something to keep an eye on and just be aware of, right? It does look like a lot of bearish consolidation happening. However, again, you did tap that value area low, and that 4-hour bull div is not to be ignored, right? Again, until money flow starts shaping up and looking a bit better, I'm not really taking into account. I'm not really, betting the farm on this. But that bull div on the 4-hour is likely to give you some kind of a move up. And again, we don't need this to be a moonshot. We are traders on this channel. We don't need big moves. We don't need big moves, especially if you're using leverage, right? All we need is a small move, right? So if you were, let's say, whatever. Let's say you're looking to trade this 4-hour. Let's say I'm not saying this is a good entry or anything like that. I'm just saying, just to kind of show you guys, if you got in here, right, and let's say you set your stop loss right below the value area low, and then you were, we'll just say you were going for the POC, right? So this wouldn't really, this is a 1.7%, 1.7 risk to reward, so not too bad, depending on where you put your stop loss. But anyway, if you were looking to scalp this, right, you wouldn't really be scalping it on the 4-hour, but let's say this bull div does wind up playing out to just bring you up to your local golden pocket before coming down, right? You could easily cash out on that for a 4.6% move, right? That is plenty of volatility to get a good gain if you were using leverage. Please do not use leverage if you are not an experienced trader, guys. But this is that is definitely a sizable move that you can make profit off of. So keeping an eye on that 4-hour bull div to potentially get that move up. So there you go. That is what I would look for on Gala. You are at your range lows. Taking a look at our not macro golden pocket, but just kind of, taking a look here, right? Coming down, testing that golden pocket from the low to the high. We have come down. Wouldn't be unlikely to get a little bit of support here. So there you go. That is what I'd be looking for on Gala. Let's see. Wick says, I could go for a piece of calf. POC. Let's go. Shout out to you, bro. All right, let's continue on here. Chemistry Bro said, sure, but I like big moves. Hey, Chemistry Bro. Let's go. I can't hate on that, bro. I can't hate on that. Let's see. Throw a little 10X on it. Shout out to Bubba's Crypto. That's how you know Bubba's is a super OG. Throw a little bit of 10X on it. Let's go. Make it a decent gain. All right, let's see. Blood Diamond on the weekly on Gala, regular candles, and the Heikenashis. Thank you for pointing that out. This is why we should always start on the higher time frames. Weekly Blood Diamond printing. This would be a very, 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 very bearish sign here, guys. And this is printing. So, yeah, that would definitely make me a bit more bearish here, guys. On the printing on the 6-day as well. Not a good look. Not a good look. So I would definitely, if you do catch that long off, if you are able to get into a trade here, not just based off of what I just said. That was not sufficient evidence to get into a trade. But if you do wind up getting into a trade, you wind up riding this up to that POC, I would look for to potentially short a lower high, or just look to close that trade at that golden pocket, because with that weekly Blood Diamond, things could get ugly. And again, this isn't like the strongest bull div. It's not like you have money flow. When you get a bull div, right, and money flow is like about to cross over into the green, that is, a much more, like right here, you print that bull div, and then money flow is also coming up, right? So we're not really in that situation here. So It's not like a mega bullish bull div. So I would expect this to be a lower high. So there you go. That is what I'm looking at on Gala, guys. Let's see. Rob throws 10x on it, but it ain't a little. Shout out to Dave Digital. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. What's this 10x you speak of? Didn't know it goes below 25x. Shout out to Jonathan Schaefer. No, Jonathan, please, for the love of God. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob, said Frankie Candles. Tony D said you might want to do a little AMA now, or do you want to do more alt TA? Your choice. They're giving me a choice, guys. Look at this. I like this. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I guess let's see, guys. Do you want to do, anytime we finish our altcoins early, would you guys rather do an AMA, or would you just like a Q&A? Or would you want to do do you want to do more altcoins? I'm sure that's going to be a crazy. Oh, XRP is pamping. Someone said XRP is pamping. Let's check it. Check in our good old friend XRP. Let's check it. Oh, she's pumping, baby. She's pumping. I see it. Little green hour. Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right. TA, I suggested it. AMA, putting words in my mouth. Yeah, Tony D said I have to do it, guys. He bosses me around. I thought he was going to help us, but he really just came in here to yell at me all the time. Unbelievable. I'm just kidding, guys. Shout out to Curtis Neal popping into chat. Let's go. All right, let's see. Let's see. God, this is hard. Frankie Fabulous. Shout out to Susan Wilford. Thank you for being here, Susan. I appreciate you. Tanner Time says Q&A, AMA. Okay. Frankie says, not a trade signal. Dave here's 100x. Got it. Shout out to Dave. Let's get it. As long as the questions are decent, probably stick with TA. Crypto tutorial, I like that. Okay, so how about this, guys? How about this? I'll take a look at Kadena. I'm just going to kind of, or actually, Rob, if you want to pull up that extra list, I'll do that. I'll go off the list. Tyler Durden, Tony yells at you too. I know, this guy's out of control. This guy's on a power trip. I'm just kidding. How about a giveaway, Frankie Candles? I need one of those hats. Shout out to Brad Milbin. Yeah, well, hey, smash that like button, guys. If we get 650 likes on today's stream, I'll spin the wheel 15 times. Let's go. Smash that like button if you have not already. And then, yeah, we'll just go over the altcoins. I'll just take it. Yeah, here we go. We'll take a look at KDA because I did see someone shout that out. And then if anyone wants to ask questions and the mods see any good questions, just highlight them and I'll read them as I'm doing the TA. So there you go. They say AMA or altcoin TA, and I say, how about both, baby? Why not schlong it, right? That's what I'm saying. Let's go. Shout out to JCasp. Let's get it. All right, here we go. Taking a look at the Kadena KuCoin tether chart. Let's go ahead and take a look. Now, interesting. Wow, that's the 1 minute. I was going to say, this looks like some kind of mega bear pennant. Yeah, so taking a look at Kadena, guys. Taking a look at hey, I'm my hero. Talk to you later, bro. Thank you for being here. Now Tony's yelling at hats. No hat giveaways until we finish them. Now Tony's yelling at hats. Let's go. All right, here we go. Shout out to Fast Easy Cash says, thank you, Frankie. You're the best. Shout out to Fast Easy Cash. I got you. Tony D, bearish on hats? That's the new thumbnail and title for tomorrow's live stream. Tony D, bearish, mega bearish signals on Tony D's hat sentiment. Let's see. Can we make Frankie candles that smell like money or burnt beard hair? Just an idea. Shout out to Damien. I like that idea, bro. I like that idea. But yeah, mods, if you just ping me if anyone has any good questions, guys. Throw your questions in there right now. And if there's any good ones, or just just ping me with the emojis or whatever. The stop sign emojis, I think they are. Those work really well. Play button emojis work really well as well. But guys, let's go ahead and take a look at Kadena. Looking VWAP curving up on your daily. Taking a look at the weekly. VWAP rejected at that zero line, a little more bearish. Yep, rejected on these higher time frames. Money flow is looking ugly on Kadena, I'm not going to lie. Taking a look at your 2-day money flow, back in the red. You came into the green, you bing-bonged in the blue, then you came into the red, then back into the blue, and then back into the red. So you may just be making a lower high here before coming deeper into the green. However, the fact that you are crossing back into the red would be a technically a more bearish sign. Take a look at the daily money flow coming straight out. No bull div but momentum is somewhat moving in the right direction. Your VWAP is curving back around. Taking a look at your 16-hour, looking for the green dot. Your 12-hour rejected at the 0. Yeah, I mean, let's see. Yeah, yellow X confirmed on your 4-hour, gave you the spill down here. I think locally, guys, you could get a bounce on a lot of this stuff. The 4-hour green dots are something I am looking at for these bounces. Let me go ahead and pull some wonky volume on this bad boy. But yeah, I would look for a potential. Yeah, no bull div on your 2-hour, dang. But you're getting the 4-hour, I would wait. I would wait for this, guys. I would not front run these bull divs. Especially because there's a yellow X confirmed. You came down, you bearishly retested your value area high, and now you are coming down with the confirmation of the yellow X. Guys, we talk about this all the time on the stream. You break down, you bearishly retest the value area low, golden pocket, what have you, whatever you're looking at. Breakdown, bearish retest, you wiggle, yellow X confirmation. That's typically where you get the breakdown. There it goes. But I would watch this 4-hour bull div. If this winds up printing, guys, this could give you a short-term bounce, right? So I would watch that, and then where would I be looking to get that bounce into? I will pull it from this little scam wick here. Let me pull up the regular candles real quick. Bada boom. Yeah. So I would look at, again, just kind of coming back up to retest the value area high / golden pocket. However, I don't really like pulling from these big, long wicks. I would rather pull from a more healthy wick, which would be down here. So I would also kind of look at this golden pocket as a potential rejection level as well, right? So you got this, bada boom, bada bing, bang, right there. So if you do get that bounce off the 4-hour bull div, which could give you a move up, I would look for a potential lower high here at that local golden pocket or that local 786. And then, you know what I can do? I can just kind of combine these. So yeah, if you come up to either of these purple boxes, that is where I would look for rejections. But again, if that 4-hour bull div prints, because if you come down here, guys, you'll see coming down to the 1 hour, right? That 1-hour green dot is already looking to roll over, right? So unless this VWAP comes back up and starts looking healthy again, if this winds up printing a red dot, understand that that's likely going to leak into the 2-hour, which would basically give us a VWAP flop on the 2-hour. And then that would likely turn into a rejection at the 0 line for the 3-hour, and then that 4-hour might also be a rejection at the 0 line, and then that could potentially invalidate this bull div. So I would not front run this bull div because that 1-hour green dot is not looking that strong, didn't give us a lot of oomph, and is starting to flop. And then that 2-hour as well, keep an eye on this, because if this starts to flop, I definitely would be very careful with that bull div on the 4-hour. But until then, you could look for that to print, but I would not front run this, especially because of that yellow X. So there you go, guys. That's what I would be looking at on Cadena in the medium term. Again, overnight, I wouldn't expect to do much more than this. Either come up to these levels, reject to lower prices, or just kind of come up. I don't think we'll be, in this general vicinity most likely tomorrow, unless we get a big dump down. So there you go. That's what I would be looking at for Cadena. Yeah, Rob the Crypto Snob said, we already know so much about Frankie. Coming up with an interesting question is hard. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Dave Digital said, even better. Would you train an elite squad of Mafia members to dominate trading competitions in a very serious train for prize fights type mentality? Dave Digital, that would be lit. And then we create a competition division of the Frankie Candles company. And then we just sick you guys on all the trading competitions. And we monopolize all trading competitions. I don't hate that idea, bro. Let's see. Floppy Donkey Fib. Shout out to Crypto Anon. Let's get it. Frankie, can you talk about how possible movement is from altcoins in the midst or related to BTC? Frankie, can you talk about how possible movement is from Crypto Totoro? If you could reword that, I'm not 100% positive what you're asking there. I would like to answer you, but I'm not 100% clear. If you could reword that a little bit, I'd love to answer it. Shout out to Honda Man said, put me in, coach. Let's go. Shout out to Honda Man. And shout out to the 670 people in here. If we get 650 likes on tonight's live stream, guys, I will spin that wheel 15 times. And yeah, we got 675. Oh, baby, we got to get spinning that wheel, guys. Let's go. Hey, Frankie, a golden pocket retest is confirmed after a div or Heikinashi candle close. Arush Kapoor, thank you for that. That's a great question, bro. I would say, okay, so you do not need a divergence to confirm a rejection of that. So here you go. Let's say we get this move up, right? We get a move up off that div, and we reject that golden pocket. Now, if you had a divergence at that local golden pocket, which doesn't always happen, but if you did get a divergence at that level, that would add a lot of confluence that you're going to reject that level. However, that is not always going to happen. I don't want to say it'll rarely happen, but that is not usually. Usually, what I would look for is maybe it's different. There's many things you can look for. You could look for a Heikinashi candle close below it. You can wait for Heikinashi candles to turn red and close, one or two candles. You could also look at candlestick patterns, right? Like you could see right here. I'll kind of walk through this real quick using bar replay mode. There we go. So here you go, right? So kind of looking here, right? Price was coming up. Right, price is coming up. I'm looking for a bearish retest of the value area low. Move over to candle, right? And then boom, we get that value area low bearish retest. But look at the candle printing, right? Look at this candle. This is a bearish candle because we have a tall wick on the top showing that the bulls tried to push the price up and then the bears absolutely stepped on them, crushing them to the downside. So because this wick is so high, we have a way bigger wick on the top end of this candle. This is a bearish candle, right? So this would, at this point, because of this bearish candlestick pattern, I would expect this to reject, which obviously it does because we're just using bar replay mode. But that you could look for bearish candles. This is a bearish candle, right? And then we also had the fact that these candles did close at that same level. That is considered a strong rejection in my opinion and would be likely that you reject. And just a quick tip here. If you guys are not familiar with candlestick patterns, you can check out the videos on the channel that we have for 100% free where I show you guys all these different patterns. However, if you go onto your indicators section, right, and you click on technicals and come to patterns and scroll down, you can actually take a look here and TradingView will actually point out bearish, bullish, different kinds of candlestick patterns. So you can see like Morningstar bullish, so anytime, I'll see if I could find one here. If it's going to label it for me. Let's see, check the daily. But yeah, the TradingView will label the candles for you, so you don't actually have to see it. But I highly recommend looking for candlestick patterns or just some candle closes below that level. You could definitely see if it gets rejected, but you do not need a divergence. So hopefully that helps you out, brother. But guys, with all that being said, Beardrepreneur said, I fondled the like button for you, Frankie. Hey, Beardrepreneur. I fondled my really, really ugly, gross, patchy 11 hair beard for you, Beardrepreneur. I'm sure your beard is much more impressive than mine. Thank you for being here, bro. How much does BTC moving on altcoins, or does BTC diving eliminate the potential of green dots on altcoins? Shout out to Crypto Tutorial. Okay, beautiful. Thank you for clearing that up, bro. He says, Crypto Tutorial says, how much does BTC ranging limit the movement of altcoins? So actually one thing you want to realize there, Crypto Tutorial, is a lot of times when you get, this is more typically speaking in bull runs for the most part. But if you're looking at Bitcoin here, right, and Bitcoin gets a big move up, right? Say we get a big move up on Bitcoin and then you start to consolidate. That's typically where you see altcoins start to get their moves, right? Because the idea is, in a bull run, let's go over to the bull run here. In a bull run, it's very common that you will get a big move up, and then as Bitcoin consolidates, people like to take profits on their Bitcoin and then roll those profits down into the higher cap or larger cap altcoins. And so a lot of times when you see Bitcoin in a big bullish move start to consolidate, that's where you see the altcoins start to fly because people are taking the profit from Bitcoin and just rolling it down that list of coins, right? And by list of coins, I mean list in order of market cap. So it goes make a lot of money in Bitcoin, take profit, roll it into the large cap alts. then you get alt season. That's what makes alt season, right? You call it the chocolate fountain effect. So Bitcoin goes up, people take profits, roll it into the larger cap altcoins, and then then that causes alt season to happen. The large cap alts that's what causes the large cap alts to fly. You're talking about, Ethereum and Bitcoin kind of run together now, but you're talking about Litecoin, Cardano, the higher cap alts. And then when people make a lot of money in that, they start to roll that into the medium caps, the lower caps, and then finally the micro caps. And that's kind of what causes those alt seasons to happen. So I hope that clears things up for you. I don't know if that completely answers your question, but that is kind of how that works. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight into kind of how Bitcoin consolidating translates into the altcoins. But just remember that if Bitcoin decides to dump, a lot of, for the most part, all coins, altcoins, and all coins are basically tied to Bitcoin for the most part, with the exception of some that deviate based off of news or what have you. But for the most part, if Bitcoin dumps, this is why I recommend, if you're leverage trading, that you maybe stick to Bitcoin, right? Because I've been in so many. Now I obviously trade in our premium Discord. I put out altcoin trades constantly, but with the if you trade Bitcoin, if you're a beginner, I highly recommend sticking with Bitcoin, not even just ETH, right? Like, I would just stick to Bitcoin, because a lot of times you'll find a bullish setup and like, oh my God, this looks so bullish. Let me get into this altcoin trade. Looks great. And then sometimes Bitcoin just dumps, right? And if Bitcoin dumps, that TA is going to get stepped on your altcoin. So everything already follows Bitcoin. So if you want it, why not just trade Bitcoin, right? Especially if you're using leverage, because a lot of reasons why people decide to trade altcoins is to add a lever, right? Leverage, to add a lever to their gains, right? If I only have $100, I'm not gonna buy Bitcoin, right? Because if Bitcoin 5x's, I'm gonna 5x my money. I don't want to 5x $100. I want to 100x my $100, right? So I would be putting my lower amount of money into a smaller altcoin, because the smaller market cap coins move a lot more percentage-wise, right? So you're essentially trading the altcoins so you get a bigger return than you would with something like Bitcoin or even a stock. But when you're leverage trading, you could just add that lever to Bitcoin and just be able to more accurately predict what Bitcoin is going to do. Why gamble on like, well, I hope this altcoin trade looks good, but let's just hope Bitcoin doesn't dump. You just always got to think, well, if Bitcoin dumps, this trade's going to get invalidated. So if you're leverage trading, I would just stick to Bitcoin, in my honest opinion, because you could just add the lever. You could add the leverage, right? You don't need to, now if it's kind of dicey. I would say that for beginners, right? Because I do short altcoins. We actually, shout out to the premium Discord. I actually put out some altcoin. I actually put out this altcoin. What was it? On STX, right? So STX, granted, it was probably tied to what Bitcoin was doing anyway, but, STX was looking pretty bearish. And sometimes you do get bearish signals on the altcoins when Bitcoin still looks good. Just understand, most things follow Bitcoin, so it's kind of just easier when leverage trading to stick to Bitcoin. Because of the leverage, there's really no reason to trade the altcoins unless you're just looking for, if there's a short opportunity on Cardano, you could just short Bitcoin, right? But if you wanted to open two trades, I guess you could short Bitcoin or end Cardano. But at that point, you might as well just double down on your Bitcoin short. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does, guys. But with all that being said, guys, that is all the time I got for tonight's live stream. But one more question. Rob the Crypto Snob said, Frankie Candles, if you could be any animal alive right now, which one would you want to be and why? Don't say a bear or a bull. Yeah, exactly. Indiana Candles, trades will look awesome, and then Bitcoin dumps, and then you get wrecked, right? But I would say I would like to be probably some kind of fish, dude. Like a dolphin or a whale. Which is funny because you said not bear or bull, but I picked whale. But no, yeah, I don't know. I would probably want to be some kind of sea animal, right? Like just like swim around like underwater. That'd be sick, dude. So yeah, I would say a humpback whale. I would say I would rather be a humpback whale because nothing really messes with whales, I don't think. They're kind of like king of the sea, I feel like. No one really bothers them. Like even like, I don't know. I could be wrong. D Petty Crypto said, Frankie, what happened to your hat? Oh, God. Guys, D Petty's here. Sorry, D Petty. Yeah, D Petty, by the way, guys, controls when I wear hats and when I don't wear hats. And he told me to wear a hat today, and I noticed he wasn't in here, so I was like, I'm taking the hat off. My Dad's not here. I'm taking my hat off. Yeah, D Petty, I had the hat on the whole time. I just got hot, so I took it off for a second. I'm sorry. Shout out to D Petty Crypto. But guys, with all that being said, that is all. Tony T said, humpback well. Hey, yo. Shout out to you, bro. Guys, with all that being said, D. Petty said, boats mess with whales. He's not wrong, guys. He's not wrong. I guess, yeah, humans are the threat to whales. They might be the king of the sea, but unfortunately, humans are the king of the earth, and that's not always the best people to be in charge of the planet. But with all that being said, for the third time, guys, that is all the time we got for tonight's live stream. Don't forget to smash that like button because we are about to spin the wheel of pain and pleasure, and if we get 650 likes, by the time I finish spinning this wheel, we will go ahead and spin the wheel 15 extra times. Not 15 total, 15 extra. So as of right now, what do we got? We got 541. We need almost 100 more likes to get those 650 likes. But let's go ahead and hit it with the spin numero uno. Shout out to Devin C. Tyler Rayburn said, yo, Frankie, can you check BTC real quick? I'm in a short from 27.1. Let's do it. Let's do it. We're doing it for Tyler Rayburn. Let's see. I love this. Where else can you get this on? Like, what other channel are you going to get this on? Hey, I'm in a short. Can you check Bitcoin? Hang on 1 second, very specific person. Let me check this just for you. You're not going to find this anywhere else, guys. Shout out to Tyler Rayburn. 21.7 he's short from. Wait, what? 27.1 is what he said, right? Let's see. He called him dad. He must really be Deezy. Shout out to Honda, man. Shout out to you, bro. All right, well, let's see. Tyler Rayburn. Where'd he go? Yeah, we should let the whales be in charge. Absolutely, bro. 27.1 is where he was short from. So let's go to the 15-minute. And let's just go mock up a position here. And I'll tell you how I would, let's see, 27. He's short from 27.1. Okay, so he may be short. Maybe he saw the entry up here. If I were in this trade, I probably would have gotten stopped out already, if I'm being honest. It doesn't mean that if you're not stopped out, does not mean that you did something wrong. This is my risk tolerance is different than other people's. It's okay. You might have put your stop loss above that swing high. I would have put it more locally. Also, I don't know kind of what you were looking at, to get into the short either. I would have to know all that information as well. But let's see. Okay, let's check it out. We don't usually do this, but we're going to do it today. Okay, so he's getting a green dot on the 15-minute. Let's see the 1 hour. The 1 hour is, yeah. So, listen. Again, I would, this is not financial advice. You should not make any decisions. Like, even if I said, oh my God, dude, I would never do this. But Tyler, even if I were to come on here or anyone you watch were to come on here and be like, dude, get out of that short. That's a bad short. Get out, bro. You got to make this decision yourself, right? Don't listen to what anyone else says. Obviously, you're asking me because you want my experience and advice, not financial advice. But I will say this. What I see here, Tyler, is it looks like bearish consolidation to me. This looks like bearish consolidation to me. Now, it does look like you could have potentially broken out of this. It was looking a little juicier like that. But yeah, it's kind of hard to tell, right? Because this is kind of like where that bull pennant was, but we've kind of broken out of it. But it still doesn't look the best because it might not be a bull pennant, but it is still look kind of bearish consolidation-y to me. So yeah, I mean, there's not really. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see the angle up a little bit. I mean, it could be a bear flag. I mean, was this a deviation or are we still in the range? Very hard to tell. This does, at this moment, look like bearish consolidation to me. However, the one thing that makes me think you could get that move to the upside is I would just be careful of that 4 hour green dot. But again, you are still pretty far away from that. I would watch this 1 hour if I were you, right? Money flow was coming up. It's starting to curve off here. If that VWAP crosses below the 0 line, I think that's where this is likely going to wind up just being a bear flag and you'll break down. But, if you come down and get support, it's kind of hard to call. So I would say that. I would go ahead and also something I would watch. Something I would watch here is a potential, I would watch a potential, if you do get a move up. And again, that 1 hour red dot is kind of what I would look for. What's the 45-minute doing? 45-minute continuing down. Money flow coming out on your 45-minute. 30-minute is in the red. VWAP got a bounce. Oh, this one's hard, man. This one's hard. Yeah, I would look. Hey, if you could get something like this, brother, I would say this, right? If I were you, which I'm not, and you're not me. So again, this is not financial advice. But if you get I would look at this level, right? Right where this wick came up, right? If you come up and you come above that, right? Maybe you even touch that golden pocket, but I would look for something like this. If you could get that bear div on the 15-minute, could potentially bring you down. But yeah, I would say, in the very, very short term, money flow is just crossing into the green on the 1 minute. 3 minute is coming out. Let's check your 5 minute. Money flow coming up. Yeah, your money flow is starting to come up a bit on the lower time frames. But again, I really would watch. Again, it's hard for me to call because I don't know what your leverage is, all that stuff. For me, if I wasn't knee deep in leverage, I would let this run a little bit until this 1 hour green, 1 hour red dot was very invalidated. Like I did not think I was going to get it. But yeah, if this 1 hour red dot prints, you're likely going to get another move down, and this bear flag will likely break down. However, money flow in the lower time frames is potentially coming up, right? So kind of hard to call here, but I will tell you this. I mean, this does look like somewhat of a bear flag to me. And again, that 1 hour red dot is what I would look for. Tyler, hopefully that helps you out, bro. I didn't want to leave you completely hanging. I know that probably wasn't going to be, I know that wasn't probably exact. I'm sure you were just looking for, hey, you're going to be great, man. Hold that short. But, it is, again, set your stop loss. As of right now, I mean, again, as long as you're not like degenerately trading with high leverage and high dollar amount, I would consider the break of this range, right? Pull your local volume profile, right? So pull a little range here. I would look for you are holding above that POC. I would look for a test of that value area high and then a potential deviation out of that value area before breaking back in. So I would be looking at this, right? So you have potential bearish consolidation. You have, but yeah, I would just look at this, right? You're coming up to your value area high. You may reject there. So 1 hour red dot, I would look at these levels. And worst case scenario, brother, if you get stopped out, hopefully it's for a small loss and you will catch the next trade. So, guys, let's continue these spins. I was going to say, with all that being said, that's all the time I got. Wheel's still spinning for spin numero uno. Wick says, not financial advice. Let's go. Shout out to you, bro. Give him a giveaway, baby. Let's get it. 2 giveaways in a row. Let's go. 568 likes, guys. Don't forget to smash that like button. Tell me about it. I know all about being knee-deep in leverage. Shout out to Honda, man. Rob says, disclaimer, only touch the golden pocket with full consent. Yeah, you guys don't want to just be going touching random people's golden pockets. Like, make sure you're touching your own golden pockets, guys. You don't want to be like hopping on my chart, touching my golden pocket. It's inappropriate. It's just not something you want to do. It's just TA etiquette. You know what I'm saying? Just keep your possum stank fingers to yourself. Shout out to you guys. Smash that like button, guys. Shout out to Cond Nasher. I don't think I'll ever get to say your name the right way. But all right, let's go ahead and continue on. Here we go. How many spins was that? That was 5 spins, baby. 5 spins. I'll give you guys 1 for good luck because we got so close to 600 likes. Let's see. Home on the range where the Bears and the Bulls go on play. Shout out to Damien. Let's go. 2x leverage on $1,300. Bro, you don't understand how much I appreciate you. Tyler Rayburn. Shout out to you, bro. You don't have to appreciate me. I appreciate you for tuning in. And where else are you going to get this what other live stream are you just going to come in and be like, hey, check out my trade? Obviously, I'm not always going to do this, but, when I can, I always like to help out the Mafia as much as I can. Shout out, guys. We got 5 giveaways on today's live stream or today's not sexual advice. Shout out to Indiana Candles. Sounds like my voice is going to take the night off as we go ahead and end this live stream. 5 giveaways. That's for the mods. By the way, thank you, mods, for being here. I do appreciate you guys so much. And with all that being said, guys, that is all the time I have for tonight's live stream. I will go ahead and see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time. And, guys, next time the Frankie Candles logo is going to be a little bit that way because this is uneven, and that can't be happening. But with all that being said, guys, thank you so much for everyone who's still tuned in. We have where I am scrambling for this. 483 people in here tonight, guys. Thank you for the likes. Don't forget to smash that like button on your way out. And with all that being said, guys, I will see you tomorrow, same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after ATB. Shout out to my boy DZ. Thank you all for tuning in. I love each and every single one of you. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Tyler Ramos.
Oh, OCD crisis averted. Is this centered, guys? Let me know in the chat. Is this even, or is there still more space over here? I can't tell. I think it's even. Guys, I think it's even now. I even straightened it out a little bit. Shout out to the CandleMafia, guys. I did have to come back on because we have to say our final closing candle prayer. And we just want to say thank you to all the candle gods that look after us, whether we want to pump or we want to dump. They know we profit either way, and they're so nice to keep those dumps and pumps coming. So, candle gods, this one's for you. Shout out to the CandleMafia. That's all I got. See you guys tomorrow. Frankie Candle's out. Bing bong.
Tyler Ramos. Tyler Ramos.